Ho ho, buddy! Gareth here, and we're diving headfirst back into the Danganronpa universe. Get ready for an absolute rollercoaster of excitement. We're cranking up the energy levels to the max! Hello. Gareth here. Welcome to Borderline Games. We're now playing Danganronpa again. Episode 40. No, 14. We are defending one Yasuhiro Hagakure. So far he's accused of killing both Taka and Hifumi, but we don't think that's the case. So let's jump in and find some way to exonerate him. I was full of energy at the start of that. It very quickly peaked off because of the time it is of recording, which is... what time is it now? 1:15 in the morning. Is this the right one? Hang on. I guess this technically is the right one. 4 seconds later. Yeah, so we're defending Hiro, who has been accused of murder of both Hifumi and Taka. I've got a current theory that either Taka or Hifumi are still alive, because we only had one announcement on the Tannoy system that there was a dead body, but that's just a theory. The other possibility is that Celeste is the one that killed them. But I guess we'll find out. Off we go. Yeah, so I think we'd just proven how the bodies would have been moved. So when there's blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository, which is...
proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
There we go. So the bodies were found in the repository, which is the back room of the art... I don't know. Hall? Art hall? No. Art classroom. Interesting reaction from Celeste. Does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way.
I think it might be Celeste, guys.
Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had like a little dance-off with Celeste.
Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
Yeah, why is there a robot? We have Robo Justice.
I'm not sure that really
that killed Hifumi and Taka. Robo Justice is like a weird Optimus Prime kind of ripoff.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Okay. How the body was transported to be immediately obvious. If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear that why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Because it didn't bend in the middle. What does he mean by that? Make your argument. Robo Justice costume, okay?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yep.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend...
There we go. Bang.
No, it's wrong.
J'accuse!
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
You totally can't bend over at the waist. There it is. All the evidence you need.
Suit. Not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
That quickly as well, Celeste?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
I mean, that tongue has got to make things really difficult. And that, you know, just talking... Oh, hang on. Talking itself is going to be very difficult. Let alone eating. Eating's going to be pretty hard. Hero's not strong enough. There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to... Oh, you can't take it off by yourself? But once it's on, you can never take it off. Well, he did take it off, so maybe it's this one.
I got it!
I got it!
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
Can't actually get it off. I don't need to read these bits. I read them out in the last episode. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, the clasp stops you from being able to get it off. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without...
Then
Oops.
you really can't take it off
Bit
by
trigger
yourself?
happy.
Hero wasn't just making it up.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Oh, that's a nice noise.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Yeah, exactly.
The suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
Gonna headbang a little bit.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear,
Yeah.
whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Hmm.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Hmm. Maybe Celeste was working with
Do you
Hifumi.
remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Robo Justice.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
So the plan was for them to kill Taka together.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be wrong.
Yeah, that's gotta be
That's
right.
gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Yeah.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
Yeah.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange
So
costume.
she was attacked and then took a picture as the... But if she only came to, how would she take the picture?
As it turns out, it was Robo
Have I just worked out a hole in the plot?
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko.
And Sakura, we don't need this, we all know it.
Hifumi in the library.
We all know what's going on, don't we? I know what's going on.
He was
I know who the killer is.
So we took him to the nurse's office and resumed
little
our
grey
search
cells.
for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
What's wrong? Moving at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out.
She was just
to
directing
everyone
everybody
as soon as I
around
knew.
so that Hifumi could move. And then she killed Hifumi on the 1st floor in the nurse's the nurse room, and then dragged Taka. Well, actually, no, that can't be how it. That doesn't make sense because Hifumi had to have gotten to the art suite. So, in that case, Celeste would have had to have killed them both in the art classroom, or whatever that back room is called. But then, how was the door locked? And how did it get unlocked?
and then
Ugia. Yeah.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back
His
to the
glasses were
nurse's
wiped.
office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Dead. There was something in the bin as well. What was that?
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Then and only then.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Wrong body?
meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
So Taka's body is actually dead. Hifumi's was alive.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time,
Taka was a corpse.
because we heard the same announcement not long after we
Definitely wasn't.
discovered this body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
The body's gone.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
And that's when Hifumi moved Taka.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room.
Toko?
So we hurried
I've been
back
saying
again.
Taco. How embarrassing. I've been made a fool. Yeah, that's right.
When we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and
It's
we
all Celeste orchestrating the whole thing.
which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
She's a mastermind. But then,
I
was
think
her
that-
motivation was the fact that she actually isn't the best gambler and she has lost a lot of money?
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Or it's the ultimate gamble? The ultimate gambler took the ultimate gamble.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. So let's go dancing. Woo!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true
Doesn't
that
make sense.
Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Let's do it again. The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So,
Let's go again.
regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Ah!
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death.
Okay, let's do it again properly.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
Alright, I've got it this time. Okay, I think I've got a hit.
regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if you or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Makes me think something weird is going on. Okay. Right. Must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Let's do it again.
so, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Why can't I do it?
What makes you say that?
Oh,
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
God damn it. Alright. No biggie. No biggie. Nobody believes me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Alright. Okay.
Is this really?
What do you say? Want to give it another shot?
I refuse to give up yet.
Okay, we got it. We've got it.
so, regarding Taka's death,
Right. By holding down the space key, you can concentrate and slow. Weak spots when the character is talking. Some text may appear in yellow. Not that. Firing truth bullets. Loading truth bullets. Yes. Truth bullet flashback. If you target a weak spot and then hold down the left mouse key, you can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument. You can eliminate white noise. So maybe I need to use the first one as a truth bullet for the second one.
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay, that didn't work.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
That's not right.
so, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before he filmed,
Or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Hey,
Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
While Taka's death,
See?
okay.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
Right.
so, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Am I supposed to do that one?
say that.
Because of the numbering.
It's true that while Taka's death,
See?
See?
Obvious Taka came.
so, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Right, so it's not that.
Shoot!
Shoot!
So, regarding I
Okay.
wonder if, or perhaps it was.
We already know what order they were killed in.
Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the number.
It's true that
Oops,
Hifumi
wrong
was
one.
killed without Taka's death.
Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Right, let's do it again.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
Okay.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
No, that's wrong.
Is that right? Is that what I should have done?
Hold on.
Yes!
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything,
Exactly.
that's just another way the killer
I know what
tried
I'm
to
talking about,
disguise
guys.
their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Let's see the proof. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. What relates to it? Hangman's Gambit. Okay. What relates to it? Wristwatch. Oops. Where's an A? A. Come on, where's the A? Nice. Boom.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Yeah, his watch was working all until 10 o'clock or whatever. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. You know that? Bedtime for all the little girls, little boys and girls. I can
so
read.
if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
I mean, his watch could break for any reason, though, technically.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Not me.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
Seems like a really weird thing to do.
That way, when we saw how they were used in
Feels
each
like something,
incident, we'd easily
Joker-
make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka
Would do.
was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't
for a
met up
Joker
in the
character.
dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Are we? So... But Celeste is here, so how would she have managed to do that?
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office.
But he wasn't dead at this
That's where we
point.
found his body.
It's when I talk about the glasses.
We're all in the clear.
That's totally true.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Looking for the clown prince of crime, I tell you.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Exactly. Thank you, Byakuya.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
Yeah.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
So many flashbacks in this one. It's able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
It's impossible.
Man, yeah. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Exactly. Thank you, Hiro.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Go on.
How?
If the dead body were to
Exactly.
move itself.
I've solved it.
The dead body moved on its own?
No.
Calm down, Shaggy.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Yeah. Make your argument. Broken wristwatch. Okay.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oops. I just don't know what I'm doing, I'm sorry.
Shoot!
Think about it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing and then just make a
Saying that
judgment.
when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once. Right, so it was because Taka's body was discovered at the same time, so I'm going to use the penultimate one to inform the other ones. Let's try that again.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
So I'm going to use this one, I
And
think.
you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
That's not right. So then use the first one to inform the second one. We'll get there by process of elimination, don't worry.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually...
No,
Ah!
it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi is dead, and that is. Are we really?
missed it.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal.
There should be a
someone
quick
else.
restart button.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead. without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No. Okay.
Shoot!
Must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Let's just hit that second
Are you
one.
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Broken wristwatch. I mean, why would
Hifumi
that?
was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No.
Shoot!
God damn it. So the only thing I've not tried is using the first one to inform the last one. But I do get it, so oh, okay. Continue.
I refuse to give up yet!
Okay. Make your argument. Broken wristwatch. So let's use the first one to inform the last one.
In the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive.
Still alive. Still alive.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No. Okay. Oops.
Are you saying that when we first
So I
found
think-
Hifumi in the nurse, there's a chance he was...
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
This can't be the way to do it because it hasn't even explained. Should body... Yeah, okay.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
So the only thing I haven't done is I haven't used the last one
Saying that when we first found
to
Hifumi,
inform the
there's a
second one.
chance he-
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement.
Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually
Still alive.
Oh, god damn it.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse, there's a chance he was actually...
No, it is
I'm
impossible.
gonna try second to
Hifumi
third.
was dead.
Without a doubt. And you know that, surely you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's
Dead body had been found.
And
Dead
that
body being
is why
found.
the announcement was
Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Right, so I've got to use the third one to inform the second one.
Shoot!
Okay. It's the only thing I think I've not
Saying
done.
that when we first found Hifumi and there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely
Use the
you heard
third
the
one
body
to... Yeah.
discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead, and that is why. Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal
Someone else's discovery.
Okay, pretty.
Are you saying that when we first found...
If this
there's a
doesn't work,
chance he was-
I have no idea what it's going to
It
be.
is
Oops.
impossible.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that, surely you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No! No!
And
God
that
damn it.
Is why. Are we really? Maybe the announcement
was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
This time. This time's the one.
Are you saying that when we first found him, there's a chance he...
No,
It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. The Hifumi's
Dead body had been found.
Yes! But the process of elimination, that is wrong.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Exactly.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
If we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Did we? The first time it played when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room, and the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered. It's gotta be this one.
I got it!
I got it!
We heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ding dong ding dong. But then he spoke.
Weird at the time. But it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! He was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Okay, hopefully this one's easier. Right. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know.
That he had glasses
The
on.
first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved,
Nothing's changed.
other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No. Oh, god damn it.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
Alright, I just held the mouse button by mistake. I know what to do.
Well, here's one thing.
Oh
we
god damn it.
The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Okay.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bath, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
The next time we saw his body.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Bang!
No, that's wrong.
Jacques Hughes!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
Yeah.
His glasses.
Yeah.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps
Yeah.
you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them
That's
clean in
right.
the nurse's office trash can.
That's what was in the can. It was... Oh. No. No. Yeah.
I got it!
I got it!
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is...
What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wipes the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
If he was just pretending to be dead. What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood
Yes,
for
it does.
emergencies. He probably used one of
I
those.
forgot about that.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi!
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
Dun dun dun!
So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Oh my god.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The item he took off. What was that? Celeste's account. Oh, it was. Oh, it's yeah. This found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. 6 a.m.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
His pants.
What? In his pants?
Pants?
Yes.
His pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different.
Wait just a minute.
Said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that
Taka.
person could only have been...
Me. Hifumi's pants.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let it get to me.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Hey. No.
Remember what the note said.
It's not even the one I thought I was gonna hit. Okay, let's do it again.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Huffy.
Remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter!
The time does matter.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, let's work out what we need to do here.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
No.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, so I need to grab the second one and do the third one.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oh. Okay, let's do it again, but do it the other way around. So third one to the second one.
Huffy had the note, right?
This is how they do it in court in real life, isn't it?
The person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
So third one's the second, so I'm gonna grab it on the way round.
Note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, nothing to do with TikTok.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
That's not right. God damn. Okay.
Shoot! Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
That's what I need to clear up. How are we going to clear it up with Hifumi's glasses though?
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Hang on. Can I switch out my things?
Huffy had the note, right?
Oh, god damn it. Look at that.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
I'm such an idiot.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I
the time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Yes!
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. Ugh. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
This one?
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There is only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no.
No.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, and put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Byakuya.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
You
He's
tell him,
right,
hero.
though. I don't understand it either.
It's right in my brain. Right in my head.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar...
So not real good and tight.
But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. But not before I dance! Spotless hammer. Okay.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
One thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
It doesn't. We've got the spotless hammer.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all
I'm back in the
hammers
game.
the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
No more going round and round trying to match things with different things. I've got it.
For some
To
reason,
cycle through my
one
things.
of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got
Most
covered in
likely.
Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
That's suspicious, Celeste. Oop, missed some dialogue, never mind. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Make your argument. Okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming
ready for
the
it.
rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Let's absorb that. I can really say there's no chance two people work together on this.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
So we're going to use
even
that.
if more than one person is complicit in the murder, Only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murdered, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Rules that have been laid out for us.
I've got it, don't worry.
Even if more than one
Don't lose
person is
faith.
complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true,
There we are.
it is simply impossible.
No!
Smash.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Ooh.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
So does that mean there's two black ones, which means if they don't get both, everybody dies? Apart from the two black ones who can go?
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Okay.
The Mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Sounds like Celeste's guilty.
Just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still,
Of
their
course,
choice of
Byakuya.
accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. She's going to select someone. I mean, I think it's obviously Celeste, right?
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit, brain fat, lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Oh yeah.
Pardonnez-moi.
Pardon moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Yeah. The screaming? The paper hidden in Hifumi's pants? Okay, it's got to be that one.
I got it!
I got it.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Jesus.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yeah.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Strange costume man, he ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so we headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Very clever.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Wow. Okay. So it looks like we're closing in on Celeste, and but is she actually the murderer, or is it somebody else? Is there more evidence to find out? I guess we'll see next time on Borderline Games. Bye bye everybody, have a good evening, see ya!